Hello everyone, I hope you are having a good day or night. My name is Chenge and I am wishing you the warmest welcome to A New Perspective, podcast that talks about gender-based violence. Today we are going to talk about the basics. What exactly is gender-based violence? Gender-based violence refers to any act of harm or abuse directed at someone because of their gender identity, or how others perceive their gender. It can happen to anyone, but it disproportionately affects women, girls, and gender minorities, people whose gender expression doesn't fit into traditional societal norms. Gender based violence takes many forms. It can be physical, like hitting, slapping, or biting. It can be sexual, including sexual abuse, sexual exploitation, or rape. It can be psychological, such as humiliation, threats, stalking, harassment, and manipulation. It can be cultural and institutional violence, like colonial practices, harmful traditions, or systemic discrimination. There's also economic violence, where someone's access to money or resources is controlled to make them financially dependent. And even administrative violence, like confiscating documents or preventing someone from accessing their rights, all tactics meant to keep someone powerless. Gender based violence, therefore, cannot be understood solely as the outcome of individual acts. Instead, it stems from deeper structures of power. Gender based violence is upheld and normalized by structural forces, for instance, patriarchal norms, which position women and gender minorities as subordinate to men, reinforcing male entitlement to control their bodies, their labor, and their autonomy. Racism deepens these inequalities through the dehumanization and hypersexualization of women of color and the exploitation of immigrant and refugee women within oppressive labor systems. Ableism and ageism contributes to the invisibility of violence against disabled and elderly people, which reduces the likelihood of protective intervention. Similarly, homophobia and transphobia perpetuate violence against LGBTQ plus individuals by policing gender and sexual expression, denying their legitimacy, and exposing them to heightened risks of violent discrimination and systemic exclusion. These systems normalize inequality, justify abuse, and make violence seem like a way to assert control. And the numbers make it clear. This isn't a rare or isolated problem. If we are looking at violence against women, according to Eurostat, every third woman in the European Union has experienced gender based violence. That's around 50 million women aged 18 to 74. In 2021, it was reported that 18% of women who had ever had a partner disclosed experiencing physical or sexual violence by that partner. If we include psychological violence, that number rises to 32%, meaning nearly 1 in 3 women has, at some point, had a violent partner. 1 in 8 women have experienced sexual violence, including rape, by someone who was not their partner. And close to 1 in 5 have experienced physical or sexual violence or threats from an intimate partner in their lifetime. These figures come from interviews with over 114,000 women across the EU. According to the European Union Agency for Fundamental Rights, 13.5% of women have experienced physical violence or threats, and 17.2% have experienced sexual violence, including rape or other unwanted acts. In addition to this, a 2018 report on hate crime found that 85% of trans people interviewed had faced verbal abuse, and nearly 30% had experienced physical violence. But perhaps the most concerning fact is that among those who have experienced such violence, only 1 in 5 sought help from healthcare or social services, and fewer than 14% reported it to the police. The most common reasons for not reporting sexual violence includes concerns about confidentiality, the fear of retaliation, and uncertainty about procedures, and thinking that nothing would change if the crime was reported. There's unfortunately a lack of awareness about where or how to report. The findings reveal that low reporting is not a personal failing, but often a systematic issue. If you or someone you know is experiencing gender based violence, please reach out to local helplines or support organizations in your area. You are not alone and help is available. In the coming episodes, we'll talk about a plethora of topics regarding gender based violence, ranging from digital abuse and prevention to the role of the European institutions in combating gender based violence. Thank you so much for listening.